Hi, my name is Claudia. I'm a yoga therapist as well as yoga teacher. And today I share a brief sequence to open the hips to release tension from the hip joints and the muscles around it. So to begin, let's start on all four, coming into a tabletop position. Aligning the wrists underneath your shoulders, the knees underneath your hips. And then just start circling the hips around. If your wrists are tender, you can stay with the hips more over your knees. If your wrists feel good, you can shift the weight a little bit more forward and come almost in an upward dog. So do it in a way that feels good in your body, and do it with a great sense of exploration rather than the need to be in a specific place. Just notice what's happening in the body. Notice where the tension sits. Then reverse direction, just exploring what's happening here. Easy and relaxed. Eventually coming to center. And then take the left knee out to the side. Reach the knee back, but leave the knee bent. And then draw the knee back in. So we have 3 points. And as we go in circles, we go through those 3 points. Reach the knee out to the side, circle it all the way back, and draw it back in so it meets the right knee. Draw it out and back, and bring it back in. Just a couple of more rounds, just like that. Lots of movement in the hip joint. And then reverse direction. Go first back and up, and then out to the side and back in. Good. And then set the left foot to the outside of your left hand. Start circling the left hip around. Go in big circles, getting deeply into the joint, getting into the sticky part of the muscles and tissues, but making always sure that you do it gentle enough as to not bring the body into the position where it contracts because it feels unsafe. Still staying in that realm of healthy stretch. Eventually change direction, moving into the other direction. Notice what's happening here. But just let my left foot move in whatever way it wants to. And then stay at center. Set your left foot more to the right, and now the left hand to the outside of your left foot. So you come into a runner's lunge. Transfer both hands to your left knee. With an inhalation, shift the pelvis back, and then keeping the heart lifted with the exhale, sinking down till your right hip says, just enough. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, rise. And exhale, releasing into a hip flexor stretch. Now remain here. Reach the right arm up alongside the ear, the left stays in place. Arch back. Let the right hip release forward, and now additionally arch over to the left. And take a few deeper breaths into the right hip. With deep breath, you should now be able to feel your psoas muscle, a very deep hip flexor that tends to be quite tight in most of us. Continue with a breath that reaches the pelvis, that nourishes the body. And then return back to center. Now bring both hands together in front of the heart to twist to the left with the right elbow to the left thigh, the left elbow pointing up, looking over the shoulder. And then just take a few breaths here, stretching out the tissues in the lower back. And then come back to center, set both hands to the ground and slide the left knee back. And I turn around just so you can still see. You can stay in the same position you were. The same sequence here. Reach the right knee out to the side. Draw the right knee back. Keep the lat bent. Draw it back in. Circles. Go out to the side, back and in. Out to the side, back and in. Very relaxed. And yet going as big as you can. So we discover the range of motion that's available right now. And then change direction, going first back, out, and then in. And then just one more repetition. And now set the right foot to the outside of the right hand and start circling the right hip around. You too going big enough so you feel where the tension sits, and you slowly start loosening up places that might feel congested. And then reverse direction. Sometimes that can feel slightly different. And then stay at center and begin to move the right foot more to the left so it aligns with your right hip joint. And set the right hand to the outside. Now slide the left knee back, transfer both hands to your right knee. Going into the left hip flexors. Inhale, take all the stretch out and then keep the heart lifted as you exhale into that place of enough. Inhale, rise. And exhale, release. One more time, inhale. And release down, stay. Keep the right hand on the knee, reach the left arm alongside the ear, arch back. Relax the right hip forward. And additionally, arch over to the right, breathing deeply into the left hip, finding some release, some extra length in the psoas muscle. Trying to not force it. It's really just a relaxing, leaning into. Then come to center, bring both hands to the heart. Now twist to the right by lowering the left elbow to the right thigh. The right elbow points up. Using the right leg a little bit as a leverage to twist the spine around, getting into the muscles of the lower back and the muscles that attach the trunk to the hips. And come back to center, set both hands to the ground, slide the right knee back. Just a couple of times rotating the pelvis into one direction and then into the other direction. And then come to center and prepare for pigeon pose by sliding the left knee towards the left wrist. Take your right hand, draw your left foot a little bit more forward. Don't go too sharp, it will be painful in your knee. So slide the right leg back, bringing the hips closer towards the ground. Set both hands to the ground, and I just have my fingertips to create more length, and then inhale, lengthen the spine, and with an exhalation, releasing forward and down. Come first onto your forearms. You can let the head just relax so the neck muscles get some release as well. And then just allow your body weight to release over the left hip. Taking perhaps a few deeper breaths to breathe into any tension that you may experience. But mainly letting it all go, giving the body some time, giving the left hip some time to become a little bit more spacious, a little bit more expansive. Nothing to do but to relax. And then begin to walk the hands back towards you. Push on the hands to lift the upper body. Slide the left leg back, extend it all the way back. Tuck the toes under and reach back to the heel. Just the legs some time to unfold again. And then draw the left knee in. Just slide now the right knee to the right wrist. Take your left hand to increase the angle a little bit without creating sensations in the knee. Slide the left leg back, moving the pelvis closer towards the ground, coming onto the fingertips. Deep inhale. And exhale back into the release, coming onto the forearms where the head relaxes. Letting both hips be heavy. So the right hip has the opportunity to let go. And this is a particularly good stretch if you have sciatica. You feel pain shooting from your buttocks down into your leg. It could be due to the piriformis muscle that pushes onto the nerve. So this is supposed to release tension from the deep muscle piriformis that lies underneath the glutes. But nothing you have to do but to relax. Always make sure that the knee stays pain-free. So there should never be sensations in the knee, which would mean the knee would be unsafe. And begin to walk the hands back towards you. Press on the palms, draw the right knee back. And then extend the right leg all the way behind you with the toes tucked to the ground and the heel reaching back. And then draw the right knee back in. And just the last time, circling the hips a little bit around. Give them freedom. And reverse. And then coming to center, and you can just sit back onto your heels. And this was the short sequence. Hopefully your hips feel just a little bit bigger. In all the postures, all the movements, of course, you can do a little bit longer and just adjust them to whatever you need in the moment. I hope you're well, and I hope to see you soon.